getting ready for a local holiday bazaar. It's like one of those craft fairs, art shows that you see around town occasionally. It's at a local church, and I guess it's pretty well attended from what I hear. I've never done one of these before, so it's a little nerve-wracking. I had to buy some equipment that I didn't have, like a canopy. I did have tables. I had to get tablecloths for them though, and I had to, go through my paintings and figure out which ones I'm taking. I'm going to try to paint, it's coming up on November 9th, and so I'm going to try to paint some little ones, like 6x6s of maybe some fruit or something, so I have something different than my typical landscapes, which lately have been mostly seascapes, but I have had a couple landscapes also. So I've never done this before, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm putting things together, so I'll show you what I'm doing to get ready. So here's a painting I just did last week, and I'm getting ready to varnish it. So the way I do this is I use Gambar. I like the glossy. I pour it into a little container. I do think the glossy varnish really helps to brighten a painting. Try not to get it too heavy, kind of make it kind of light. And then I go back and forth like this. And then I go up and down. And as usual, I feel like I've got too much varnish. So I just kind of make a crosshatch. Because what I find sometimes is if I look at it later, I've missed a spot, and so that's why I kind of go back and forth. So the next step, I'll let this dry, maybe an hour or so, and then I'll frame it. And I've had to do this to a bunch of paintings. Here's the painting that I'm going to frame next, because it's going to be part of the show. I like to use these black frames because I think they really help the painting to stand out. One problem is, though, I think some people probably don't like black. I don't know. Frames are expensive. I think a painting always looks better in a frame, but they're expensive, and so I don't know. The gold, I've had gold before. And nobody seems to like the gold. I have a friend in North Carolina who says everyone wants gold there, but here, I don't know, I think it's more wood, but it's really hard to get a nice wood frame without spending $150. Now here's some of the other frames I've used before. I do like this frame, but it really requires kind of the right painting for it. It's kind of old-fashioned, so I thought it went with this old mission that I painted. Now here's one of the gold ones. It's kind of dark in here, it's hard to see. I do like that crackle finish, but I haven't had anyone really like the crackle frames. So I tend to use these black ones. And in a pinch, I think I would be willing to switch it out if someone really wanted a painting. Now there's a wood frame. And here's one I recently bought at Jerry's. I like that little detail. And I think it helps the painting to kind of stand out. So this painting that I just showed you, this one, I tend to make a mess, is what I've noticed. This is gesso, and it got on the back side. Normally there's paint back here, but you want it to be sort of tidy looking, and I tried to clean it off with alcohol and it didn't work. So I've got these were advertised on Amazon as things to make signs. and it was through Golden State Art. This is an 11 by 14. It's called White Backing Board, and I also got some 12 by 16s. But I find that if you put them on the back of a painting, it looks very tidy, and people do prefer that. These are 3/8 inch offset clips. And I put one in on each 4 sides to keep it secure. So I put the hooks about 1/3 from the top, and then I'll put my wire. And you want to make it kind of, you want to make your wire kind of taut. Okay, there it is, framed, ready to go, and the wire on the back side. And now I'm going to wrap it. So I got some bubble wrap. I make it just a few inches bigger than the size of the painting. And then I use this kind of tape to close it. Now I took some postcards and I cut it into little squares. And this name of this painting is Beach Day. So I put the title of the painting, I put the size of the painting, and then I put oil on panel. And then I'm going to put little dots that will indicate the price. Certain colors will be certain prices. Then I'm going to put this inside, and when I get ready to hang them, I will hang them with a little ribbon. So these paintings are 16 by 20. They're much more difficult to wrap, and the bubble wrap is not big enough. So I just put corners on these, and I'm going to transport them in a box. Okay, this one finally dried, and I got it framed. They always look better in a frame. I assembled some banker's boxes. I've got 2 down there with 7 paintings each wrapped. Of course, the lid doesn't fit on. Then I've got 4 16 by 20s that I left in big boxes with corners. This one didn't fit, so I wrapped that. I started another box here that I'll probably put a few more in. And then in here, I'm going to put odds and ends, like my business cards, labels for my greeting cards. I'll also put my 6 by 6 paintings in here. I've got one in there already, and now I have my list of all the things I need to have for the show. And I've got to pick a painting that will be the raffle, because I'm going to have a raffle too. So my husband suggested I raffle the wrecked ship. I'm not sure that that's something that would be desirable, but I might do that. And he also suggested I take this painting. So my next project is 3 6 by 6 paintings. So if someone wanted a grouping, they could have 3 of kind of a similar sort of kitchen-y sort of theme. They might be fruit. I think that's what I'm leaning toward. Maybe 1 different piece of fruit in each one, or possibly 3 different apple paintings. We'll see. So here's my 3 6 by 6s, and there's my 3 vignettes. They're all on the same table, but they all have the same light coming from the left, and we'll see if this works out. These aren't turning out exactly the way I thought. These 2 don't really go with each other. And this third one was supposed to be the tomato. So maybe these are just separate paintings that just kind of stand alone. Here's one, pretty simple, just a plain lemon. I think it'll look better in the frame. Here's that first one I think you guys saw. Now I'm going to work on this scene of a tomato, a jalapeno, and a thing of garlic. This was my block-in that I did the other day, and I'm going to see if I can spruce it up. And here's the final one that I just painted. It's kind of hard to, it's shiny, the light's not good, but Anyway, so I'll get these framed up and then I'll show them to you. I'm still getting ready for the show. It involves more than just packing up paintings that I've already painted and that are dried and framed and all of that. It also involves me pulling out some paintings that have never been framed, or I took them out of a frame and I want to sell them unframed at maybe a cheaper price. And also, over the last few days, I've painted some smalls, the 6x6s, and I thought that might be a good idea for people who want to get something, but they don't want to spend a lot of money. And then I found some in the garage that need touch-ups on the painting, or the frames are messed up, and so I'm trying to fix those too. So this one, let me show it to you. I've always liked this painting, and I'd like to put it in the show, but it has one small problem. And that's a big tear. And today I'm going to see if I can fix it. We'll find out. I'm getting these extra threads cut off. Okay, I took some wax paper and put that underneath. And then I have some of this washi, I don't know, I can't remember how to say it, washi koba paper. Anyway, it's supposed to be good for this kind of thing. So this is supposed to be very durable. You can see it's got some fragments in it. And underneath I put wax paper so nothing sticks. And then I have this washi glue, Yamato. I got it on Amazon. It came with the paper. So I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I'm just putting the glue on the painting with my finger, and then I'm putting this paper over the top, and then I'm putting glue over the top of that. And then here's my second bit of wax paper, and it's supposed to not stick. And then I have a very heavy book to put on top. And I'll check it tomorrow. And can you tell? Not unless you look really hard. So I've decided to use this painting for my raffle painting. I just varnished it. It's funny how I never varnished it before now, but I'm going to frame it, and this will be my raffle painting. So here's the littles, varnished and framed. So I think I found the perfect frame for this raffle painting. It's got black in it and brown, and it kind of goes with the theme. So check it out. So that's the process for getting ready. The show is tomorrow, and I hope this is informational. I never realized how much work it was. I have a lot of respect for people who show at art fairs and craft fairs outside. I can't imagine what it would be like to do this every weekend. So anyway, I appreciate your comments about your experiences doing this, and maybe some tips for me. See you in the next video.